Hello, hi. So I'm using, I found my webcam, right? I'm using the microphone from the webcam just to see what it sounds like. Now, if you recall, some time ago, months ago now at this point, I'm sure, um, I randomly, I'm going to mix it up. And I was like, is that, I knew it was Zelda. And I was like, was that from Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask? And then like literally the next day, what's this carnival? The Carnival of Time tarot popped up on like in an Instagram ad, and I didn't get it when I originally thought about it, but it was recirculating, so I ended up getting it. It's I guess a tarot deck inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Now I have barely played this game because it used to terrify me as a child. Is this? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I got the deck, and I haven't played the game basically at all. I did end up increasing my Nintendo subscription tier, which, oh wow, this is dented. Wow, she's a little crushed. I didn't even notice that. She's a little crushed up there. She's had a rough journey. Hopefully the cards are okay. Um, I did get that tier though, so I could play. I was like, you know what? I'm old enough. I think I can play Majora's Mask and not be terrified. So we're just gonna, I don't know, pull a few cards, see what's up. The Fool. It's the Skull Mask kid. I forget his name, but he ain't got the mask on. The mask is off. What? And then the Dark Fairy. Here's the Ace of Deku sticks. Deku sticks are wands. What did this say? Deku sticks are wands. Bottles are cups. Swords are swords, and rupees are pentacles. We've also got here's the Ten of Swords. Man, I'm gonna play this game so that I'll have more context. Ten of Swords and the Seven of Rupees. I'm a big boy now. I think I can handle it. And that's just what's up. I'm gonna separate these. Here's a card back. Excuse me. Separate these into multiple piles. At least 8. We'll do 9. 9 piles to encourage separation for eventual integration, intermingling. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I do not think so. There's something that's been like, I don't know. I'm in this space. Also, this video is not sponsored by anybody, but I am sipping the Oracle juice because it's been a minute and I missed it. And now the top is on the floor, so I have to finish it. I don't know. So I guess so. I'm feeling like it's time to move. Like it's time for things to proceed in whatever direction that means. And it really hit me like the night before last. Um, and also, I don't know. There is a path that I really want to take, and it's not that I don't think I can. I don't know. Like there are so many things that I know that I can do now. So I would think like this isn't any more difficult than any of those. Maybe it just speaks to a level of authenticity. It speaks to a level of truth or to a level of, again, progress and forward movement that I have encountered in a different arena within the past few months that makes it just seem, I don't know, it almost feels like the stakes are higher because it's something that I truly desire. You know, that makes sense. And then yesterday, after the audio cut out, I was gonna say something, but even without like the audio, even when it was muted, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I don't know. It's like maybe in order to meet the progress that I want, there is an innate knowing that there are some other things that are going to have to shift, which is going to require like an openness on my part, right? And it's one that I don't know, it's just recently within the past 10 days, it's really hit me how much I do want it, you know? Like, Patrick, what are you talking about? You haven't said anything. Welcome. I don't know. It's just been 9 of 10 of swords. I did all that work to separate these, and the 9 and 10 of swords end up right next to each other anyway. And that was like the top half of these cards right here. Anyway. All right, what are we doing? There's no booklet. There's no spreads. I could do a spread. Let's see. There's a Triforce of Power, right? Or Triforce of Power. There's a Triforce of Power, a Triforce of Wisdom, and I believe a Triforce of Courage. So yeah, let's do that. I'll cut it. Triforce of Power is the King of Bottles. Who is this guy that I don't know? Because again, I haven't played this game in particular. The Triforce of Wisdom, I'm trying to make sure I only get one card, is the Lovers. And the Triforce of Courage is the Sun. And it's Link. Link is the holder of the Triforce of Courage. LOL. Cool. I know that's Epona. Because it's always Epona. Also, today's Kathy's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to a very special Virgo. Power, wisdom, and courage. It's interesting that power is the King of Cups. King of Bottles. What's that? The Rey de Botellas. So that's the Triforce, right? So the holder of each of these, we put a few more, cut right there. The holder of the Triforce of Power is the 5 of Bottles. I know these are Garudas. Oh, that's interesting because the holder of the Triforce of Power is Ganon or Ganondorf, and he's like the only male Garuda because they're like Amazonians, they're mostly women, but every whatever, however long, there's a the holder of the Triforce of Wisdom is the 7 of Swords. Isn't this the masculine mailman? Do 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 do. Hold on, the Triforce of Courage is the Two of Rupees. Who is this guy? Do 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 do. Okay, I'm not trying to get sued by Nintendo, so well, let me stop. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Deku Sticks. I don't remember his name. I think he pops up in a few of the games because I remember running through like a cemetery graveyard and trying to find the right uh, tombstone to push to reveal whatever, but I don't think it was on this game. Where's the ninth? 2 plus 3 plus 3 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is the ninth one the shovel? Where's the ninth Deku stick? I am a Pisces. Hello. How you doing? Pisces Sun, Taurus Moon, and Rising. That's me. Oh, the one male with the goatee, at least it's very male coded. The one male in this tribe of female warriors. Also, with water being a feminine element, the king of bottles being here, it's very accurate to that character in that way. What are we doing with this? Partially want to see what the cards are like. Excuse me. Where is this? Death is behind. Oh, that's so appropriate. Death is behind this nine of Deku sticks because they're in a graveyard. That's the gravekeeper. I like webcam is all the way over here instead of it being like in the middle. Under that is the king of rupees. Now, this is dude. This is dude of Lon Lon Ranch, isn't it? Is that the ninth Deku stick? The king of rupees, king of pentacles is holding the ninth wand. I still can't find it. And the actual nine of wands. I just played, Four Swords with Just Muffin a month ago now. And these black rupees, so green rupees have a value of 1, red rupees are 20, blue rupees are 5 or 10. I think 5. Green is 1, blue is 5, red is 10. They have a big green one that's 100, a big blue one that's 500. When you collect, 4 gold rupee shards, I can't remember if you get 500 or 1,000, but these black rupees, if you pick up the black rupee, you actually lose rupees. So it's almost like it has a negative value. But it's interesting to have a coin that has a negative value, right? Kind of like an IOU, I guess. Oh my gosh. And then the card literally just falls right. It literally falls right back on the ground. It's fine. We know it's there. When it comes, what I also like about this power is of Cups is a card of grieving or being at a loss emotionally. But the symbol, the actual Triforce of Power is like this King of Cups. And it feels like the emotional stability of the King of Cups is like the King of Cups, of course, isn't going to stop himself from grieving, but he's not going to be consumed by the grief either. And even over here, when it comes to the Triforce of Wisdom, there's the Seven of Swords as like the wielder or the holder of the Triforce of Wisdom, which is, you know, a card of theft. But the actual Triforce of Wisdom itself is this Lovers. So it's like it's the difference between something, I don't know, the Lovers is like it's a communal sort of energy, like there's enough for everyone chips in. And then the Seven of Swords is like someone who takes from another, someone who takes from others. So again, there's like this opposition here between what the thing is and the person that holds it. And then over here with the Triforce of Courage, we have the Two of Rupees, which is much more almost like miserly versus the Sun. And here it's just like the Two of Rupees is associated with like trying to balance something, but the Sun is like this carefree, almost like things are going to work out. You don't have to be so concerned with like resources and material costs and finances and things like that. It's like where the Two of Pentacles is overly concerned with the logistics of something, the Sun card just like naturally flows and does whatever, you know? So maybe that plays into this, the Nine of Wands, Nine of Deck of Six, and the Death card, almost in terms of like what things have come to mean because of the wielders of those things. Like where once power was being emotionally sort of like stable, and it's a masculine emotional stability that doesn't compensate by all of the stuff that more like distorted masculine energy could do or would do. Now it's wielded by like this Five of Cups energy that causes like this grief and this turmoil that like I guess steals. It like it robs people of their emotional sort of stability and wellness. Maybe because of it not feeling that within itself. Or maybe because it doesn't know another way. And again, like when it comes to wisdom, where once it was like us all gathering under whatever that is, or being able to meet one another. But now it's like a game of who can take what from who and get away with it. It's like it's this cunning and conniving where it used to be about like love. And when it comes to courage, where courage used to be so abundant that there was no need to worry or fear because like we knew our concerns would be taken care of. Now it's this like pros and cons, carefully measured, carefully guarded, carefully um, given sort of energy. It's like risk analysis. And again, it's because of what something has come to mean that it influences how it appears in the world. But this is someone who remembers how it used to be, or it's someone who remembers or knows the truth. And that's why this King of Pentacles here is also the one that keeps falling on the floor. Because it's like it's like the King of Pentacles distributes these black rupees. And it becomes this game of like who between the three of these can gather the most black rupees. But black rupees have a negative value. And so it's like the more we have, the less the more we have, the less we have, or the more debt we have. Because again, it's a physical symbol of loss that can be collected just like things of value. So again, like we wouldn't even necessarily know that we are so bankrupt because we're just like collecting whatever this King of Pentacles is saying like we should be collecting. What? Where did this card go? I should have picked it up when it fell. Oh gosh. Oh, here it is. It took me so long to find that chariot yesterday. And the message of the chariot was it can help us discern what is positive and what is negative, right? Let's go to the community page and see because I uploaded it. Let's go to the community page, excuse me, and see the community. Enables us to know what is positive and what is negative, harmonizing and transforming it into a driving force. So the chariot at Manukau, I think, from yesterday that also fell on the floor and just disappeared, it would help us to know that although this is something physical and tangible and something that we can collect in a mass, it actually has a negative value. So at the very least, we would stop collecting that. Like collecting debt, maybe collecting karmic debt, collecting dharmic debt that generates karma. Okay. I'll leave these three on the table. So what happens next? Oh, I see judgment at the cut with this Three of Swords. I need to play this game. I think this is the tombstone on this Three of Swords that you have to find in that cemetery. Because you see like the song on the bottom, it's this tombstone. And it's so interesting that across different suits, we have this like same theme. Nine of Wands, Death, and the Three of Swords all happening at the cemetery. It's also interesting though because of those energies of rejuvenation and restoration and resurrection that were coming out before. Also, I think it was Sagittarius that had the healer in death. All right. So let's get one card for the crux. Oh gosh, that is way more than one card. I'll take the top card because I see it, and I'll put the rest of them back. So the one card that is the crux of like the three of these, the Triforces as they are, is the Four of Wands, the Four of Deku sticks. 4 wands and 5 frogs on 5 lily pads with the rainbow. I don't. I think it's more so the Oracle of, not Oracle, Ocarina of Time. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I think it's more, yeah, because you go back and forth in time. Okay. I know there's an area, it's a watery place, and you fight like Dark Link. You basically like fight your shadow in the game. And for some reason on this Four of Wands, it feels like the same place, but it doesn't necessarily have to involve us like fighting a shadow. The Four of Wands is also a card of marriage. And so it would be like the marriage of these three when power, courage, and wisdom act in harmony. Or whatever this is at the center, at the crux, at the heart of it, can be represented by power, courage, and wisdom. Like power, courage, and wisdom are the three main aspects or definers of whatever this central energy is. What brings this to balance, to resolution? These are a little sticky because I literally just opened them. They almost feel like the Osho Zen Tarot to me. Almost. Something about the cardstock feels like the Osho Zen Tarot. Eight of Swords and the Ace of Swords. I don't even think you get Deku sticks anymore. You know, back in the day, you started with the Deku stick before you found the real sword. And sometimes, like, you can light them on fire, and it can be a torch. I think they could burn out if you leave them lit for too long. Like if you have a wooden shield, also that could catch fire. I think you do. I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom, but I think in Breath of the Wild, I'm sure they had sticks. They did have sticks. All right. How do we? I don't know. Is this a S or are we? Two cards came out, and they fell on top of the crux. Three cards came out. The 10 of Deku sticks, the 5 of rupees, and the 2 of bottles. Ooh, they have a heart piece. So if you get 4 heart pieces, you get a heart container, which is like life. When your heart pieces when you hit 0 hearts, like it's game over. Three, 6, 10. Oh, this is like a little Deku shrub thing. Who's carrying this? Ten of Deku sticks. The 5 of rupees. And the 2 of bottles. I'm loving like the elemental diversity. Even here, bottles, swords, and rupees. And then it was Deku sticks at the bottom of the deck. All four elements. Here it's like three different elements. I don't know. I don't know why I love it, but I do. It's God, I don't know. It's with the 10 of wands, the 5 of pentacles, and the 2 of cups energies. This it's not reading like there was any external change that gets these things to shift. It's in the midst of challenge and difficulty. Something happens internally that causes us to move differently and to want different. And the more we act on it, again, because this is one piece out of four, you have to collect four pieces in order to unlock a new heart. Now, I literally just got this deck, so I don't know if there are three other cards with other heart pieces. I don't know if there's a card with a full heart container. You get a heart container for beating bosses, but heart pieces you find for like maybe a mini boss or in a chest, or you find them while you're out there adventuring. Um, and it feels like when we can get a heart container, that's when these Triforce energies shift to what they originally were. Cool. I was a little like, what are we doing? Where's this going? I think also too, we have to manage to stay out of the pocket of the king of rupees, and that's probably why this 5 of rupees is here. Because again, if we're collecting the king's rupees, we're accumulating debt. Because that black rupee has a negative value associated to it. Now, if it was a silver rupee, silver rupees had a value of 1,000, maybe. I think I only saw one silver rupee while we were playing the game. I don't remember. Cool. Let's end it there. I am already sleepy. Excuse me. If I was more familiar with this game, I would probably pair this up with the either the Dungeons and Dragons tarot or the Fable Makers animated tarot, especially like with the deck dungeon challenge. Because if I knew the context of these cards, if I knew who the characters were, then that would add, of course, like a flavor, right? A context to these. I feel like, oh well, in the game, like this character sends you on a quest to do that. So I do know that what's his name? I believe maybe it was more in Ocarina of Time. I think it was more in Ocarina of Time because I think I've actually done that. He like falls asleep and he just like does not wake up. Oops. And you have to take a cuckoo egg there. And the cuckoo egg hatches and then it like it um it makes a noise that wakes him up, and then he runs back to the ranch, and maybe he gives you a jug of non milk. Maybe he gives you something else. I don't remember. I think it was in a. It's in a quest series, um, and that was another thing in OG Zelda games. This is not what I shuffle together. There we go. That was another thing in OG Zelda games. It could be in recent ones too. I don't know, where you would have like this long quest to get like a big Goron sword or whatever. It was like you would receive something and then you would, in your adventures, you would find someone who was in need and you would give them the thing to help them, and then they would give you something else and then you find someone else. So it was like running something all around. Like I think it was in I feel like it was in one of the mobile games, but it could have been in A Link to the Past, um, where there was like a guy who was stranded in an outhouse, and you get some stationery by helping somebody, and you give him the stationery, and he uses it as toilet paper. You know, there's like there's a there got to be like a mail person somewhere, a mail carrier, and they give you the stationery when you help them out, and then you give that guy the stationery, and he gives you something else. I know after you get, I think at first when you get the big Goron sword, it's like broken, so it's like a knife. But if you get it repaired, then it turns into the big Goron sword, and it's like too heavy for your character, so it's like a two-handed sword, and it might be the only two-hander in that game, because a lot of times it's like sword and shield, right? And so maybe I don't know what you gain in power or offense, you sacrifice in defense for the ability to block or guard. But the reach is so wide that, it's not a distance that's easily closed, especially if you can use it skillfully. So anyway, a video that's not 5 hours long. Love it. Also, I don't know. No, I was feeling tired earlier. I could use a nap. A nap. Okay. All right. Final card. Ooh. Okay. I'll take them. Ooh. Oh, both. Hold up. There's two fools. There's more than one fool. Because I just saw the fool and I was like, oh, no, this is the same fool card. I'm dumb. This is the same fool card. Because for some reason, the mask and his body, and I saw it as like him moving in the direction that the mask is facing. And I noticed this fairy here this time. I didn't even notice the light fairy last time. I just noticed the dark one. I thought there was two different cards. It's like, oh, it's the same card, the exact same. Here you have a Zora, the Knight of Swords. The Two of Cups is out again, and then we have Strength. And in this deck, Strength is 8, like in most decks. Now, this I don't understand the context of. I'll show you the cards. The Fool, the Knight of Bottles, the Two of Bottles again. Since that's the second time, is it like we're halfway to a heart piece? And then Strength. What's interesting here, because I'm looking at the Strength card, and like this little girl with all these like zombies or whatever behind him, and it looks like she's like protecting the zombie, like maybe that's her dad or something. And so it's this energy of like trying to save them instead of just like killing all the zombies or whatever. And because it's strength, it's like that's the harder path. That's the path that requires strength. Now, it would require an emotional strength, of course, for the girl to be okay with the eventual, inevitable, undesired demise. But, and like with the Two of Cups that came, something that's worth resolving. And maybe that's why the Fool is here. And I guess that's another thing too. Like it's easy to make judgment calls and decisions or to know what someone else should do in a situation. Like when you're not in the situation. When we're not in a situation, it's easy to go like, oh, well, why don't you just do this? Or why don't you just do that? Or why don't you just like be done with it? But if you're emotionally tied or invested, it's not that easy. Now, these bottles, unlike the Five of Cups, there's something in these bottles. I don't know what it is, but there's something inside of those bottles. Maybe it's a cure. I'm, it's not, I'm sorry. I don't know. I know it's a band. I don't know what kind of music they make. Let's see. A random The Cure song. It's a band, right? The Cure. It's a rock band. It's an English rock band formed in 1978 in Crawley, West Sussex. They have a new song, Alone, and it releases on November 1st. Wow. Songs, Friday I'm in Love. Let's do that. Friday I'm in Love lyrics. Friday I'm in Love lyrics. I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday's too. Thursdays, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love. And then it continues to go on. I don't know. Something about that, like, as difficult as something may be, again, it just feels like it plays into the strength card in terms of like as difficult and challenging as things may be, even if it's easier to like give up or walk away. And it feels like there are some games where you have choices. The Legend of Zelda, especially back in the day, not necessarily too much, unless it's like a side quest and your choice is like, do you do the side quest or not? But it's given me a more modern, or a different genre of game where you have choices. You have a choice to like help the character or to kill them. And if you help them, there's like an item or a companion or something that you only get if you help them. And it's like it makes the game significantly easier. But maybe like the game is new, right? And there isn't a lot of like pre-established content or information in terms of like if you help this character they give you this item that like breaks the game, or if you help the character then later on down the line they're a key part in another story. So there's like this really hard boss fight. Like let's say that this is in the past, and despite the little girl's wishes you like remedy this village's problems. Well, then she grows into a super powerful whatever, and she remembers that you were the one that like killed her father or whatever. And she's like actually in the story. And so now it's like maybe this almost impossible, like really hard boss battle, whatever. But if you would have helped them earlier, then they would be in a space where they like help you. Like she grows to be just as powerful, but now she grows to be that powerful because you were the hero that came and saved the day instead of you being the villain. That's the reason why she lost her father. And I think just that in general, when we're so focused, going back to like the Triforce of wisdom, especially with the Seven of Swords and the Lovers, it's like when we're so focused on like furthering our own ends and goals by any means necessary, and we have no concern for how it affects anybody else, excuse me, then again, it's like we sort of create the circumstances that generate like that negative karma or whatever because it affects somebody. And eventually they may get to the point where they seek some kind of retribution, right? And then the excuse of, well, I was only doing what was right for me. Like, but if we could tap into what like the actual Triforce of Wisdom symbolized, it was the lovers. It was like communal effort. It was the, I know that like, and again, that was the thing about the negative pentacles that the King of Rupees was handing out. Because we can be convinced that in order to succeed or make it ahead in life, we have to take advantage of somebody else, but that's not the case. And it could be the path less traveled with this Fool card. Maybe when we make more and 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 more justifications to moving against someone else in order to further our own interests or whatever, it's like the heart, it's like there are these connections that branch off of the heart. But every time we have to justify ourselves to ourselves how we mistreat someone or many someone's, it's like it cuts those connections. But it's the Fool that can maintain those connections with this Knight of Bottles energy. And because it maintains those connections, that's what it is. That then leads, because there is a heart that even if it would be easier, or even if it would make more sense, even if it's life or reality, that it wouldn't put this little girl through like the pain or trauma of losing someone that's close to her. That would at the very least try. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. She's giving great fairy vibes. She's looking very pleased, very happy. Like the error of the Empress, the one that was like, I shouldn't have to come down and do this. Like that, the one that was who she was. Again, when the Fool goes down this path of doing the difficult thing, it pleases this Queen of Swords. And then maybe get the actual like the force of courage or the Triforce of wisdom or power or whatever. And again, it's like it breaks a curse just because it's so not what many would do or whatever. And again, it's so easy to justify us moving the ways that we move. But the world, ooh. All the masks are here in the world card. Oh! All the masks are here in the world card. But there's also like there's the guy from Death, the skeleton, the truth of the thing. And now it's like it's happy because it's a part of it. The truth of what those things are has returned and is like now known or whatever. That's cool. Love it. All right. Well, I hope you all have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and what you find. I guess I got some homework to do now. Now I have to play the game so I can use the deck. And it's on the Switch. I don't have a capture card, so I can't stream it. No one asked, but Matthew, hello. Good evening. Good night. I sent you a message. I don't know if if you'll see it or if you've seen it. But yeah. Because I know you said that you weren't necessarily too active, but I did. I did send you a message. I hope you'll have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and what you find. And yeah, until next time. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Like, I was so excited to finish that series, but I'm like, I don't know. There are still things that I need to do. So I'll probably do those. You know, that would be a wise thing to do. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.